And the clock is ticking. The days are running out of my 90 days stay here, so... In this episode I'm fixing the steering system after finally getting the much needed parts. I'm also showing you the difference in the beefed up version and the extreme poor quality I actually had. This is a standard LEWMAR COBRA solution that you will find in lots of yachts, even high-end brands. In the previous episode I said goodbye to G after almost 9 months on board Be Free. It was hard to see this coming to an end after having sailed 5,836 nautical miles together. Now I have to get my things together here after putting everything on a pause, only to enjoy the last weeks, days and hours together with G before she left. My part from LEWMAR has arrived and I need to pick this up at the DHL Express office. The shipping was surprisingly fast, but man do they charge money in not only additional shipping costs but also taxes, even for a yacht in transit. Be prepared to pay more than twice the price of getting the same into the US or any place in Europe. As a big contrast to other French islands I have visited, here in Tahiti the buses are actually not only on time, they are also quite many and don't need much planning from my side. Modern and clean, so there is absolutely no reason not to use the buses to move around here, at least for the small things I'm needing right now. Almost surreal standing here and look at the traffic and the buildings. If I did not know where I am, I could easily believe this was any French city in Europe. Just look at this 5-storage parking garage for only this grocery store. Unfortunately, no time for being a tourist. I have a serious task ahead of me getting my steering problem sorted. And now, with a new quadrant in my hands, I can start this project. First step is obviously to remove the steering wheel, then take the top section off and disconnect all the cables from the instruments. This part I know how to, as I have had this off before, but there's lots of nuts and bolts that needs to come off. This is the scary part, where you really have to be careful. The combination of aluminium and steel bolts is not the best, and corrosion can make the bolts sit like crazy. Trying too hard, these bolts will break. So best way to get them loose is to motivate them a bit, knocking with a hammer, or the Viking style with an axe. To have better control and more momentum without wiggling or losing the grip, I use a perfect new bit, and this adjustable tool instead of the normal one you would use. My experience, this reduces the risk of rounding the edges, as I have much better control of the power I use. Thank God for the redundance having twin helm station. As you can see here, this was a serious problem. The missing bits and pieces I removed after this failed, so I would not jam the steering while using the port side helm station until reaching Tahiti. If you ever need an argument for having a twin helm station, this one should be a quite good one. I was really hoping I could get the quadrant out without taking the entire steering system apart, outside and inside, upper and lower quadrants, as alternative would make me a sitting duck with a seriously reduced maneuverability. I can disconnect the beam between the rudders, meaning at least leaving me with one rudder that works. Unfortunately, it turned out pretty fast. The entire pedestal needed to be taken off to access bearings, and also to get the shaft and upper quadrant out. And this is quite a job, in, as you can see, a pretty compact space. I have a lot of things on my hands now, starting to be not critical time-wise, but of course I don't have that many days left of my visa here in Polynesia, and there are several places I would like to see before I have to clear out. So now I just have to step on it. I spent the last 2 weeks with G putting pause on everything from video making to fixing the boat. It was basically because I wanted both of us to have as good time as possible the last days she spent on board. but now it's time to put things into system again and really start to work hard. It's a little bit sad, a little bit hard, but I have to do things, and I now just have to prioritize to get things together. Unfortunately, I broke one of my tools. I need to get quadrant or the rudder post that goes inside the helm station. I need the entire tube out, so I need to go and try to see if I can find the tool that I need. It should be possible. I think even in the grocery store they have it, so I will check that first because that's closest. So it's time to jump in the dinghy and get things done here. Probably not the best tool you buy in a grocery store, but I got what I needed and I'm gonna give it a shot. So fingers crossed I can fix this. I need to get a post out with the entire thing and take it to a workshop so they can do precision drilling for the new holes. I don't have tools good enough for that, and if you don't make the holes precise enough, it's gonna be some movement in the rudder post, and yeah, it will be some slack, and you don't want that. So I need to find a well-equipped and professional workshop that are used to do precision work. So that's gonna be my task tomorrow. And here, on my way back to be free, you can see the reason why you need clearance from port control to pass through this channel, at least with a sailboat. With my brand new dirt cheap tools, I managed to release the clamps that was in my way to get this released. It's sort of a good thing to have this done, as I see there has started to be a leak for water to penetrate. Most sealants only last for 10 years or so, and I'm not very surprised. This needs to be cleaned and make a new gasket and sealant. As a sailor, you often need to improvise, because there is no other alternatives. I need to get this deassembled to bring with me tomorrow in my search for a workshop. I'm trying to not destroy anything in the process here, as you never know if it's gonna be possible to replace anytime soon. I don't have this privilege, as the clock is ticking with no mercy. Welcome back!
Thank you. Some gifts for you.
Gifts from Norway!
Yeah.
Norwegian candies and a flag.
Yep.
We can't have you with that small flag.
No, you got a bit bigger one now.
So this one is time to retire. Thanks, guys. Finally, I succeeded getting this shaft out of the helm station, or the pedestal, and it was quite a task. But yeah, here it is. It's quite beefy. It's steel, so it's part of the mechanical steering, and it sits inside the pedestal and connected to the quadrant in the bottom and to the gear quadrant that failed. So now I need to go to a workshop and see if they can help me make holes in the new gear quadrant. It's precision work. I cannot do that with a toy of a drill I have myself. The holes would never be precise enough, and you don't want any slack, so it needs to be super precise, otherwise you will have shit steering. So yeah, this was quite a task. I think the next task is also gonna be interesting, and that's to find a trustworthy workshop to help me. So I have to find an ATM to take some cash out and see how this goes. Yeah, another beautiful day in paradise. I wish I was on my way to Moorea, the neighbor island, but I have to sort this out first. I managed to find the place, but unfortunately the guy is not here today. Tomorrow, they say. So After first bus downtown to find a taxi, and then a taxi out here in the middle of nowhere. And then it was a detour because he's not here. Guess how it is, but at least I managed to find the place where he's supposed to be a very good mechanic guy. So, well, it's not much to do. I have to try tomorrow. So I will make my way back to be free and start on another project meanwhile. Maybe I can arrange both things tomorrow. The contrast between Tahiti and rest of Polynesia is almost surreal. Tahiti is so overdeveloped and also overpriced in my opinion. The selections, however, is overwhelming, and you can find absolutely anything you desire here. And if you have a few $1,000,000 collecting dust somewhere, you can even buy a property here to develop for yourself. My boat is a mess right now, but hopefully today I will have this sorted out. So I'm ready to go to the workshop again. Unfortunately it was not so successful yesterday. Well, partly successful because I think, or I believe I found the right workshop to help me. Unfortunately he was closed, so, and I was told by the neighbors that he would be there today. So now it's early in the morning and I try to be there early because it's French, and you don't, if you want anything done, go in the morning. After lunch they have had a huge dinner and a bottle of wine. Precision work or even work ethic, or what do you say, it's not there anymore. So if you want anything done in the French island, always go in the morning. So I succeeded yesterday to get the bearing back on. It's high risk when you take bearings off, and to get it back on again properly without damaging it. And unfortunately I took the top bearing off, which I did not need to take entirely off. I only had to loosen it, but how could I know? So I took it perfectly back on again, because it needs to be there to have the gear quadrant suited perfectly. And it's not a big job, it's just I need the 2 holes, but I don't have the tools to make precision drilling on a boat. So how I see it is I need to probably fix it somehow and make sure that the bore, the drill bit is going perfectly aligned. So I don't want to have any slack in this, because then I will have slack in the steering as well, and of course wear and tear. So here is where the quadrant is going to sit. It's quite beefed up, it's thick metal. So yeah, my back is packed. It's a little bit messy here now, but hopefully end of the day today I have this assembled back together again, and if I'm lucky, if this goes fast, I will also be able to get it up and running again. Then it's a lot of work below in the aft compartment also. But first thing first, I need to go and get this fixed. Yesterday I took the dinghy to the marina, and then there's no taxi, so I took a bus to downtown city center and then a taxi from there. So now I know where it is, so I'm just gonna take the dinghy to the city center instead and then take a taxi from there. So hopefully I save some time. From the airport Anchorage to downtown, it's almost the same distance as to the marina in the other end. So I saved time and no more dinghy ride than needed for this. And this is a big city in many ways, so it's lock it or lose it here as many other places in the world. So I managed to find a taxi, and let's see if the guy is there today. So fingers crossed. Yeah, this guy is definitely my man, but unfortunately he is loaded with work, so he cannot do it today, but he wants me to come back tomorrow morning to see and be there with him when he does it. And he has a lot of tools and heavy machinery also, so I'm pretty optimistic, but it means I have to come back again tomorrow. So it's how it is. But I mean, he said it would be difficult, but not impossible, so I think definitely this is the right guy. So yeah, then at least starting to get somewhere. Tahiti is definitely the island of contrasts, and not often the distance between poor and super rich is so visual as it is on this tourist machine of an island. Okay, it's a new morning, a new try, and I'm off to the workshop again. So this is the third time, so hopefully it will succeed today. I'm fingers crossed. But it's this French style, money is no motivation, and if you push too hard they just say no. So I have to play my cards carefully, and hopefully he will help me today. He's a nice guy, so, and he has the right tools, so I'm really having high hopes on this. So, but it's a little bit hassle because it's take a while to get there, and kind of waste my time. I have a lot of other things on my hand, and the clock is ticking. The days are running out of my 90 days stay here. So if I cannot get it today, I would consider to contact the gendarmerie here or the consulate and see if it's possible for me to extend my stay a little bit, because I need to have things sorted out. Especially now, as I'm a solo sailor again, I need to make sure absolutely everything is top-notch. I'm gonna have a long distance sail in the near future. I don't want to have problems sleeping because I'm worried about things not working. So, but first thing first, let's see if we can have these things fixed. Sometimes even the smallest things feels like an expedition, spending several days to achieve things that normally would have been so fast and easy back home. But guess this is part of the adventure in itself. Yeah, it was definitely the right place and the right person to help me. Look at this. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, I'm very happy. This is oh, what a relief. I mean, it's not a big deal, but when you don't have the tools and this is precision work, it's a challenge. Finding this place was also a challenge, so yeah, but it's amazing. The only Anchorage here offers very little protection, and even waves can be a problem. So I was a bit in a rush due to the weather predictions, knowing my boat is not that maneuverable and I'm a bit far away if the wind and waves picks up. This anchorage is nuts. You can see winds above 40 knots from nowhere anytime. And with the weather predictions for this afternoon, I kind of feel the rush to get this done. It was pretty wild there today. It's up to 35 knots, so not crazy much wind, but a lot of boats dragging around. And that's a very uncomfortable situation when you have detached your rudder system and you basically are not maneuverable. So yeah, I did not record so much because I was busy trying to get things bits and pieces together, so in case it increased, I would be maneuverable. It's a very uncomfortable situation. Hanging at anchor and doing this kind of things, I would never done it without my mantis, that's for sure. So anyway, I have got the pedestal back up again. The wheel is here and it works, so that's great news. Now it's cables that needs to be wired, and I need to get this here, this one back again, and it's a lot of cables, so yeah, it's still a little bit work, but I think like in an hour or so I should be done. So yeah, I hope before it gets dark. So, but man, what a job. This is ridiculous. I have some thoughts about the quadrants. Bavaria claimed to say that they claim that the gear quadrant was in their specifications a beefed up version. I see the quadrant I received from LEWMAR now. It's much thicker and it's not carved out, these pieces. I'm gonna put in, you can see the difference. The original one that sat here was so thin. I mean, it was basically as thin as the tinfoil you wrap around candies. It's useless on a boat, and especially this size with this amount of power. So I'm not surprised that it failed. It's just more surprised that it actually lasted for 10 years. Anyway, that said, I think I need to order one for the other side, but not here, because importing things here is so time consuming, expensive, and I have to leave. Yeah, sometimes it's allowed to be a little bit proud. This project I'm a bit proud of, because that was nothing but, yeah, bleep. It was a really hard job, but now I'm done, and even before sunset, so a little bit ahead of schedule here. So I'm gonna celebrate with a cold beer. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching and all your support. A special thanks to all my patrons that makes it possible for me to upload these videos. Much love from me on Be Free.